Top of it, top of it, top of it. It's your boy, Coach One Stack, tapped in, man. And hey, man, I get fly too, man. I got to let y'all know sometime what's really going on. But before I get my way to church, I'm going to let y'all in on this video about how Keefe D is snitching on the Tupac murder trial. Now, you dig what I'm saying? As you all know, Keefe D is currently, he is not in jail. He is in prison out here in Nevada for what? Battery on an inmate, because he got into a fight in the county jail. And when two inmates get into a fight in the county jail, that's actually a felony and they send him to prison. But the thing is, they're treating Keefe D a little bit different because they don't normally lock people up for that. And see, from watching this documentary, there's a lot of little things that have come out that about Keefe D is a bona fide snitch and you're a proclaimed leader of the Crips. So let's backtrack, right? We're going to backtrack to the Tupac murder. Now, we already know what happened with Tupac. We already know that, that Diddy was connected with the Southside Crips. And Keefe D was a baller at that time, connected to none other than Eric Von Zip. Now, Keefe D in his statement, right? And that's snitching, y'all, which, hey, you want to snitch, that's on you. I'm not a street person. But Keefe D said in this documentary, because in that 50 Cent documentary, remember, this is footage that had never been released before. This audio had never been released. So it shocked me. He talked about how Diddy came to him in a room full of Crips and said that he would pay $1 million to have Suge Knight and Tupac deleted. He said they got to be gone. And Keefe D said, hey, man, we can do that. We can handle that. See, guys, this falls under the same thing as Lil Durk and even Young Dolph with that Hernandez Govan with paying people for a hit. So here's what happened. As you know, the story goes. Now, Keefe D, he shouldn't even been given that information on this proffer statement. And I expect Diddy to get arrested for this because of these statements. Keefe D went on to say in this proffer agreement that had never been heard, he said, yeah, Diddy came and, he put $1 million hit out on Suge Knight and Tupac, right? And we said that we can handle it. We'll do it. See, that's it right there. He said also that video that Usher first shot, the very first video that Usher first made, that was Keefe D's 64 Impala that Diddy was driving and Usher was sitting on the hood of, right? Okay, so now we get to the night that Tupac got deleted. Orlando Anderson, a.k.a. Baby Lane, who was Keefe D's nephew, he got jumped by Death Row, including Tupac, okay? But Eric Von Zip knew about this as well. So now, after it happened, Tupac and Suge, they were on their way to Club 662. That was Suge Knight's club, and that's the night. That's a club where they would get down and party at after all the fights. I've been there more than a few times. Well, Eric Von Zip comes to Keefe D, and Keefe D works because he just snitched on everybody. Good thing Eric Von Zip is resting in peace. He said, Eric Von Zip told Keefe D, he said, this would be a perfect time for y'all to get Tupac and Suge. He said, yeah, it will be, but I ain't got no jimmies, as he called them. He called the blickies a jimmy. But Eric Von Zip said, oh, I got one in the car in the stash spot. So that is how Keefe D said in his own words, he procured a firearm so that they could try to delete Suge Knight and Tupac. So they said after they got the firearm, they went to Club 662 and they sat in the parking lot for 20 minutes. They said, wasn't nobody there. Nobody. And this is during a proffer state agreement, right? People will go to prison behind this shit. And he said they went to Club 662, but nobody was there. So they said, we went to go get some liquor. Make sure you stay to the end because it's a cold twist to this video, y'all. He said, so we went to go get some liquor. And after we got some liquor, we driving down Koval. That's the street behind the MGM. And he said, all of a sudden, we spotted the Beamer. And he said, Tupac's hanging out the window. And some women are saying, Tupac, Tupac. And he said, that's when we pulled up. And he said, that's when Baby Lane, snitching again, even if you're snitching on the dead. He said, that's when Baby Lane linked out the window and started pulling them shots, right? Putting them bullets inside of Tupac. He said, I even saw a bullet hit Suge Knight's head. Now, press and pause. Suge Knight was always asked if he knew who was responsible for the deletion of Tupac, and he said no, and he wouldn't tell if he did know. Well, the thing is, Kefe D and Suge Knight are childhood friends. They grew up together. They played on the same Pop Warner football team. You can go pull this video up yourself and see them on the same team. They were friends. Can you dig what I'm saying? So now Kefe D has admitted on this proffer agreement, on this documentary, that Diddy, number one, put a hit out on Tupac and Suge for $1 million. Number two, that Eric Von Zip gave him the firearm to do it. Number three, that Baby Lane leaned out the window, which puts all of them on a murder charge, including Diddy, because he's the one who ordered the hit. But Eric Von Zip is gone, so he would not face any charges. But man, Diddy is going to prison for this one. So now Kefe D goes on to say, that when they called Diddy, Diddy only gave them half the money, $500,000, because the complete hit was not taken out. See, since Suge Knight was still alive, he only paid them $500,000, $500,000. This is all on tape. And guess what, man? A proffer agreement stands up in court, y'all. So see, now, pressing pause. Diddy was trying to be a gangster. He was taking out hits. See, at this time, man, a lot of y'all wasn't born yet. Kefe D had more money than Puffy at this time. Diddy didn't have all that money. And just so you know, during this time when this happened to Biggie, Biggie was working on his new album. It didn't have a title yet. Puffy named it Life After Death after he stole his royalties, but that's a whole nother video, because we talking about Kefe D snitching right now. You dig? On that proffer statement, which is gonna get Diddy locked up, because he said that Diddy, he said it was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. He said that in a room full of Crips. So if you got other Crip members that are alive that can corroborate that information, Diddy will be charged with the murder of Tupac as well. Can you dig what I'm saying? So now, Kefe D goes on to say, that, hey, Diddy stopped messing with them at that point. Well, see, this is why, see, now, if Diddy had taken care of his business, he had kept Kefe D paid, Kefe D never would have been on anybody's interviews talking about this stuff, trying to get money. He never would have been on DJ Vlad snitching on himself. Kefe D had called out to Diddy on many occasions. Hey, Diddy, man, throw a motherfucker a bone. Throw me something. I know what I would do if I was the one who had planned out a hit and I had paid for it to try to get somebody deleted, and I got a person that's still alive that was a witness. Guess what? I would make sure their pockets stayed fat, because once again, just like in the Cassie situation, if Diddy had paid that money to Cassie the first time, none of this stuff would even be going on with him. None of this stuff would be going on. Just like if he had paid Kefe D and kept some money in Kefe D's pocket, Kefe D never would have gotten to the point to where he had to go on these people's interviews to try to get money, to try to talk about the deletion of Tupac. Do you feel me, people? So, man, it's snitching at its best. But Diddy will be going to the penitentiary for this. And hey, man, if y'all like the comment, man, and you like how your boy One Stack is chilling, man, I'm matching Cartier shades, rose gold on. Hey, man, we matching head to toe, Louis from head to toe, double chocolate interior. Hey, man, I ain't always in my kitchen, y'all. I told you, man. I just don't like to be like that. I'm just on my way to church. Can you dig it? But if you like the channel, if you like the raw content, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell. Let me get 1,000 comments on this video, and y'all tell me if you think from the information I just gave you that Diddy will be charged with the murder of Tupac. Other than that, you know the rest. Be blessed. Don't ever get stressed. Make sure you never get finessed, and making sure you're getting plenty of rest. And remember to stay your ass out of trouble.